What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin again today because a lot of things have just happened. You know, we just closed the week. It's the beginning of a new week. We're 3 hours into this day right now, and the most important thing to me to go over is this short-term RSI. On the weekly, we're bouncing off the 50 here. Every single time in Bitcoin's history, literally every single time we've done that, it has resulted in a significant move to the upside. I say every single time, very literally, and you know, eventually there will be a point where this happens and it doesn't go significantly to the upside. But from this alone, I would expect that we're going to see some kind of move that might break this structure here. Maybe not go higher than this, but it has a chance of breaking the structure. On a bearish note, you know, if we take it from high to the current low of this structure, or no, it wasn't that one. Sorry, what was it? I think it might be from the low to high, actually. Low to high. We did just close right below. We had our first candle open and close below the 236. And it was close, but it is right there at it. If, you know, at any point in the next 7 days, basically 6 days, 22 hours, if at any point we come down and we close below this 236 again, and maybe even if we get down below these high closes here and close below there, then there's a solid chance that this move to the downside that I've been talking about is still in play. But we really need to see some resolution to the downside, because at the moment, this is really, I mean, I'm inclined to be bullish at the moment. I'm definitely inclined to be bullish. There's something in me telling me to still be bearish. I don't know if it's pride or if it's, you know, just the fact that there is some bearish stuff showing up on the charts still. But you know, I'm not quite willing to let go of this move yet. I would like to see a little bit more to the upside before I become completely bullish. But I'm definitely not as bearish as I was before. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. And another thing to add on to that, on the daily, we bounced off the 50. We literally did. I mean, well, we have a whole day to kind of see if that happens. But if this low was the low, or not a low, but you know, if this was just a little like, what's it called? I don't know, just sideways. This was the low of the close here, and then we turn up from here. Every close is higher. This is going to look like a nice bounce off the 52, which was a pretty significant area of resistance 2 times before on the RSI. So the only thing counter to that, you know, on the bearish side is we are below the purple line, and it looks like we are potentially confirming it as resistance. So again, we have 21 hours left in this day. It is the start of the new week. It is a Monday. So any move from here, I think, would be a real move. If we go to the futures, BTC futures here, we can see that there's no gap. You know, everything's fine. So it doesn't, you know, the price doesn't need to go down. It doesn't need to go up. There's no gap there. So it can totally, like, there wasn't a significant enough move over the weekend for it to be like fake or worrisome, I guess. I don't know. Normally, whenever you get gaps on the CME futures, you see them filled in the following week. We don't have that. That's just what I'm trying to say. So I think if there is any hope for the bears at this point in time, what needs to happen is we need to start moving down. We need to maintain this lower high, lower low trend. I would say that the next high, or the current high that we have, I guess would be this one here. I would say that there, maybe even these highs here, but I guess that would be the high to watch, which is at $28,400, which from here, from the current price, that's not really that big of a move. That's only, or I guess that high there would be 7.6%. That's not that big of a move for Bitcoin. 6.16%. Maybe we're on our way up there right now. Maybe we're doing something like that. It's completely possible. But as long as we're maintaining the structure, this lower high, lower low structure, I'm not completely convinced that it's bull mode yet. Though this weekly and the daily, potentially the daily bounce off the 50, these are very compelling arguments. And if we go back, I'm on the index here. We can go back to the very beginning. I've done this on one of my videos before. I'm going to get rid of my long-term RSI. And let's see here. Just see if I can squeeze it all together here. All right, so here was the very first time that we bounced off the 50. Bounced off it right there, and let me just get this fixed right. There we go. And it resulted in a move that took us from, below a penny to 9 cents, 10 cents, something like that. We bounced off the 50-ish area over here, if you want to call it that, and then we went up from there. Had a bounce off the 50-ish area over here, went up from there. We had some very nice actual tips, just like we're seeing now. One here, one here, one here, one here. Every single one from the start to finish, all we did was go up. It wasn't immediately that we went up. We kind of moved sideways here and moved sideways here, but ultimately we did go up, and it was the beginnings. This was the markings of the beginnings of a nice rally. Same thing here. When you reject it from the downside, ultimately we're going down lower. But, we kind of bounced off this area here, up, and right here, this is what took us from about $46,000 up to $69,000. That was a 74% move there. And now we're in the middle of yet another bounce off the 50. At this point, if this week was to close red, we could, come back down. This could have been like a fake bounce, but we've never seen that happen before. We've never seen that in, let's see how many iterations. 1, we can call that 2, maybe not, I don't know. I'm going to call that 2 because it's a bounce there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to count that. So we have 9 iterations, potentially 10 now. That's not a whole lot of iterations to go off of, to be completely fair, which is definitely boosting my confidence. But I feel like I'm definitely biased to the downside, and that's my main reason for being bearish. I think this does look like a zigzag pattern, a bearish consolidation pattern. Where are we at here? From top to bottom there, that's your A wave, B wave, and your C wave. I mean, it fits the bill perfectly, other than we haven't had the C wave yet. We could be in the starting of it. Your A wave is supposed to have 5 legs down. We've got it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not drawing them completely accurately, but you get the picture. 5. Your B wave is supposed to have 3 legs up. And it's a ABC correction. ABC. And it did have 3 waves. Just like that. 1 wave up, 1 wave down, 1 wave up. And then your C wave would have another 5 legs, and ideally be the same length, if not bigger than wave A. But I don't see it being as big as wave A. If it is, it's not going to take as long. I don't expect us to bottom in May. But I would expect, if it is as big, I mean, this would put us at 77.7K, so I really don't think that we're going to be as big as Wave A if this is a Wave C playing out, which is unconventional in itself, but we are in unconventional times. There's a lot of firsts that have taken place in this bear market. I said it in my last video, but we have a double top here. I guess this was in the bull market, but we had a double top. We broke the previous all-time high, which we've never done before. Oops. I think we're below this purple line now longer than we ever have been without coming back up to touch it. Let me see. And it's slanted to the downside, but I think the last time we touched it, was it that day? Let me see. No, we did not touch it that week, so it would be that green one there. It's been 54 days, 55 days now. Yeah, or 55 weeks, I'm sorry. 55 weeks, just over a year. We spent a little bit of time here below it, but, from the last time we touched it, which was this red week here, to the time that we did touch it again, that was 19 bars there, 19 weeks. If we were to do the same kind of idea here, I need to get a closer look at this one, just to be sure. I want to be fair. Oof, that might be a touch. It's not, but I'm going to count that as a touch, man. That one's really close. I'm going to count that one as a touch. And, if you want the other one to be a touch too in the beginning, I think it was a little further away, but that can be the difference of 1 week, literally. But where here, it's not quite the difference of 1 week. But there to here, 40 bars. Okay, so it's not the longest time yet. It's not the longest time that we've spent below. Oh no, yeah, it is. Okay, so 50. Even if it was this one, for some reason I was thinking it was 35. But yeah, so this is the longest time that we've been below the purple line. On the weekly too, I think. Let me see. If we zoom out, yeah, this is the lowest that we've ever hit on the RSI. Ergo, we were showing some of the weakest readings ever. On the monthly, we've never been this low on the RSI either. On the monthly basis also, if this month closes red, which is looking like it might, we have 11 days left or 12 days left, a lot can happen. But on the monthly, we've never been this low, and we've never gone above the 50 just to come right back below it immediately. When we go above the 50, when we go above it, we have significant moves. We don't just go barely above it and then come back down like this. We don't do that kind of stuff, at least never in Bitcoin's history before. And then on top of that too, if we were to measure every single fib that Bitcoin has ever had, we can take the bottom, the absolute bottom here to top. This bounced off the 236 area. We take the bottom here to the top there. This bounced off just a little bit below, in between the 236 and the 382 area. We take the bottom there, and we take the next top here. That was right off the 382, literally perfect, just right off the 382. We have never been lower than the 382, but this time we actually have gone down to the 0.5, almost at the 0.5. We're not quite there, but potentially rejecting the 236 area, which I find pretty interesting. This also is a bearish look. Let me see. Yeah, something like that. Oh, that's not even. Maybe it's a little bit higher. Maybe we go up from here. Maybe we go up and touch the 236. After all, I'm pretty sure that's an extension from the top to bottom here. That is the, let's see here. Let's get into it. That is the 1272. Literally right there. Maybe we do make another leg up. It's completely possible. And maybe I'm off on the count. Maybe this ABC is more of a A, B, and then a C. Maybe not that high, but But actually, that would be a little bit unconventional. You don't see your C leg being that small normally. It normally is bigger, though. It can be that small, but it's not. It wouldn't normally be that small. That would be a kind of unconventional ABC in itself. But ultimately, I don't know. That could be what's at play here, because on a weekly basis, the fifth leg is normally bigger than this too, but it was kind of small and lagging. I think the first leg was actually bigger than the fifth leg, which isn't common. But we've in a overall pattern where there's shorter legs already showing, is it possible that our next leg up could be a short leg C? I think it's possible. I'm talking about Elliott wave theory here. If you don't know about Elliott wave theory, you can look it up. It's a lot to go over. I definitely am not an expert in it. I know a little bit about it, enough to identify certain patterns that correspond to Fibonacci levels, but I'm not a professor at this stuff. I've just done a little dabbling, and I don't use it normally. It's just something that I noticed as a pattern overall, and so I'm playing off of the general rules that come along with that, And I don't know absolutely nothing about this. I do know some stuff. I've been in crypto now for how long would that be? I guess 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. And I heard about Elliott wave theory whenever my first year doing technical analysis. So I have been paying attention and learning stuff for a little bit, but I wouldn't say that it's my area of expertise. My area of expertise, if I have any area of expertise, would be the fib. And that just so happens to play very well into, and when I say the fib, I mean the fib retracement. There's the fib retracement, there's fib channels, fib circles, time-based or trend-based fib time, stuff like that. Fib spirals, fib resistance arcs, fib wedges. I don't know anything about those. I just use the fib retracement, and they are all different. They more or less obviously use the similar or same and similar ratios, but the fib retracement for me is the one that makes the most sense. It's easy to understand, I think. I'm sure they're all easy to understand if you know it, But anyways, in the list of first two, we've never existed where in a global climate such as this, as far as bearishness goes, You know, inflation's never been this high before. The U.S. dollar uncertainty with the dollar probably hasn't been like this ever since Bitcoin's existence. When I say that we've never experienced stuff like this, I mean, like on a global scale, I mean, since Bitcoin's inception, we haven't experienced anything like this. We've definitely, in the history of the world, experienced economic catastrophes and global catastrophes and uncertainties plenty of times in human history. But since Bitcoin's existence, this is the first time. And then, I don't know, there's definitely more first times that Bitcoin's had. You know, if we went through the indicators, there's a lot of first times that indicators are showing. So it is completely possible, revolving all back to the point that this could be another first, where Bitcoin looks like it bounces off the 50 here on the weekly, doesn't put in a higher high. Maybe it goes up to here. I really would like to see this lower high structure hold. So this high at $28,500 would have to hold. And if it does, if we do end up actually getting below this 50 here, this would just be another first in the history of firsts, or the list of firsts in Bitcoin's history for this current climate. You know, there's a lot of, everybody says that every bear market is the same, but this one has a lot of things that just have never happened before in any other bear market. And I think as a result of that, overall, I think we're going to see things play out differently. We're going to, you know, this bottom here is at a very conventional time to bottom for Bitcoin, and we're in my opinion, a very unconventional bear market. So I haven't given up on this just because we've bounced off the 50 here. I'm not giving up on the idea that we're in some kind of greater ABC pattern here, but we do need to make a move. All that to be said, we do need to make a move to the downside if that's to hold true. We cannot give up. We can't give up this high here. We can give up this high. We can even go above these highs, but we really can't give that high up, which is about 7% higher. At that point in time, man, I would probably, depending on how things look, I might get in myself. I might get in and just, you know, take the L on the fact that it might not go lower. Or if it looks like it might take a little bit of a dip back down, maybe I'll buy just like 3% lower or something like that. But 3% on an asset that might just take off. We've been winding up for a while now, guys. We have been in this sideways range since March. So whenever it's time to move, it's going to be time to move. It's not going to check back so that you can buy it. You know, it's going to be quick and then off to the moon again. So that's my kind of overall rendition of tonight. I'm sorry that it's a little bit longer. I had to go over some stuff. You know, I want to point one more thing out. On the Bitcoin chart, this 123 MA, you bounce off it here. We're potentially testing it as resistance here. But if you go to the BTC futures, I did notice on the daily, we bounced perfectly off it last time, and we've bounced off it now. I would definitely say that's a bounce off it now. Could this be the chart to be watching? Could this be the key for the bulls' salvation? You know, I honestly don't know. In the bears' turmoil, same kind of idea on this chart. We need to hold. If the bears want to stay in control, they need to hold that high. They need to. As long as that high, as long as we're in this lower high, lower low structure, I'm not convinced yet that it's go time. But there are some bullish things. There are bullish indications in the chart. I want to take the fib here just because it's probably different. I mean, bounced off the 0.5. You normally get significant moves whenever you bounce off the 0.5, but a significant move could be a quick move up to the 236 and then back down. It doesn't have to eliminate this high before, but you know, it could go all the way up to the 0.069. And that would throw a lot of people off. That would definitely look bullish. It would throw me off for sure. I wouldn't expect us to go up here and then overall have a lower high still, but turn around from there. That would throw things off for me. But anything can happen. This is crypto. This is Bitcoin. And right now, I would say the CME chart, the Bitcoin CME chart, looks a little bit more bullish than the actual chart does. I wonder what the RSI looks like. A little bit different. But yeah, this chart definitely looks more bullish in my opinion. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. I don't know. We could have... I wonder, is it a megaphone or is it a channel? I think it's a channel. But if it's a megaphone. If... That could be a megaphone. That very well could be a megaphone. And if it's a megaphone, generally you'd have a move that goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the fifth leg, that's when you break out and crash. You know, if the fifth leg came to the downside, then you'd break out and crash to the upside. So it really does depend where this fifth leg ends up. So this could be telling, actually. All this bullishness looking like Bitcoin wants to go up, you know, this could be telling that we do go higher. Maybe we have one more leg in us. Maybe we go up to about 35K, at least on this chart, or 33K or something like that. I don't know. I really don't know, man. It's hard to say right now because with the BTC USD, with this weekly bounce on the RSI, there's a lot of I don't know what to say, like fighting in my head going on right now. You know, that this could be the start of something greater. But something in my gut, you know, I'm fighting in my head, but my gut's telling me that this might be different. This might be different because there are bearish things happening too. But that can all change. It can all change very quickly, and I just feel like I keep saying that, you know, and it's the truth though. And if it was to change, what we need to see, at least on a daily perspective, you know, a little bit of continuation to the upside so that we can get away from this 50, make it look like a bounce here, definitely get above the purple line. On the daily, you know, if we started closing candles above the purple line, you know, this high be damned, I would say this does definitely look bullish. I might even get in before we break this high because we didn't get into the oversold zone. We really didn't. We held the line. Or the bulls held the line. There's not really classic bullish divergence, though that is a double bottom there. And, you know, as of right now, things look bullish, but we are still in this just sideways weeble wobble of a thing. Nothing significant has happened yet. So even though we're seeing significant, somewhat significant readings on the charts, we don't have price. Price is the ultimate indicator of what's going to happen. So we need to break up or we need to break down before we have an actual idea of what's going on. Until then, just more sideways stuff. But some big stuff has definitely happened. It's definitely getting close, guys. We're definitely getting close. And I feel like I'm just ramble at this point. Yeah, that's all I got. So leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. If I had to like just say some closing thoughts, I would say watch for these highs here. This closing high on the daily right there at about 24,850. On the weekly, I think it actually looks better. Watch for, these closing highs right here. If on the weekly we can close below here, it would be nice to get below here, period, but closing below $24,300, it then to me it's over. You know, getting back below this 50, that would really help. Maintaining this lower high, lower low structure, we need that. If you're a bull and you want to see things go to the upside, what you're looking for is continuation. You want more continuation so that this happens. So that we do prove a bounce off the 50. Get above this purple line. Take out this high. You know, take it out right there. And if we're, I mean, man, I wonder, are we like right smack dab in the middle of this? The 0.5 is literally the middle of this range. That's how it works, right? The 0.5, in case you didn't know this or piece this together, right? It's just a ratio of the range. So the 0.5 is halfway through the range. If the range is this line and this line, I just did it on the fib, right? The 0.5 is right there. We're basically quite literally right in the middle of the range. So if you're looking to go long or go short on this, it's not the time, man. It really isn't the time. I would wait. Yeah, so bullish, you'd want to get above 28,460. Bearish, you want to get below 24,314. Until then, nothing significant has happened, and you know, nothing that's at least directionally significant. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Yeah, have a good day.